cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens and come and spend a day in the 757.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After Show, but later. I'm stoked because today we have a couple of people. I'm joined again by El Cucuy. He's been a regular homie on the show. Next, we have the one and only, our first guest. Well, actually, I've had a couple of people, but as far as like me and El Cucuy we're welcoming for the first time ever, Baseline Tre. What's cracking,
Baseline Tre.
Everybody, yeah, man, I'm stoked. I didn't know if to call you Baseline Tre, Baseline Trevi, or Levy. You're over here, Levy. I'm like, you have like 50 names over here, man. I don't know how to keep track of you.
Man, well, Baseline Levy, that's my Instagram handle. But I go by Tre Tracks. That's and the reason why my name is Clarence Levy III. And in high school, one girl started calling me Tre, because of the movie Boys in the Hood. The main character was named Tre, and he left at the end to go to Morehouse, and I went to Morehouse, and so she was like, "Why don't you just call yourself Tre? It's so easy." Because people, they hear Clarence and they call me Charles and Clearance and all this other stuff. So Tre. So that was it. So that was easy. So Tre Tracks, but Baseline Levy is Instagram, and then Baseline Tre was my Snapchat handle, which I got from learning how to play tennis, which is why I spell Base instead of Bass, like bass. And
I never even connected that. My dumbass over here thought it was music, and I never even thought about the way it's spelled.
And it was a play on words because music is my first love, and that's what I do, on the side or whatever. And so it's like the girl who is learning tennis as well from one of our mutual friends. She was like, "I'm just gonna name you Baseline Tre for tennis baseline, not baseline." But it just kind of fell in line with everything else I was doing. So that's why I have the BASE line instead of BASS on Instagram and on Snap. But the reason why they call me Baseline Tre on the show is because that's what Cavino first learned me to be, Baseline Tre.
Did you ever get good at tennis? How far did you get with tennis?
Good enough to stay in shape. Good enough to run around.
Because I know when I was a kid, we used to play, but I was never I didn't really know all the rules or whatnot. But we go to the neighborhood school or whatnot and hit it back and forth. But I was never that great, man. But it was fun. I did like it. So I'm curious, how good did you get? You did it for fun too, or?
Totally for fun. But I can say this: when I first got out there, everything I hit was over the fence.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But, I had to learn the technique and
I Happy Gilmore-ing that shit.
Oh my goodness. Home run, dog, every time. But no, I hit it and it just, now I got it to the point where I can actually serve and I can return the ball. And we can actually have a legit
volley or whatever they call it.
Yeah. That's it. That's about how far I got. And I know the rules. That's it.
Did it carry to ping pong? Because you know what, I'll say this. I'm pretty good at ping pong now. I'm not like a pro or nothing like that. But after you mess around in tennis, you get some ping pong skills, don't you?
Now ping pong, though, I grew up with a ping pong table at my house. So my dad had a ping pong table. So we always had the Friday night, Saturday night ping pong battle. So ping pong was something I already knew how to do. But, when I went out and hit tennis ball, I just thought you had to just, whack that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what? When it comes to ping pong and tennis, I suck at both. But I'll tell you, if I ever played with either one of you, I talk shit the whole time, acting like I'm the best.
You got to. That's mandatory.
One of my homies, he's like super competitive. My homie Luis, he lives in Tucson, and it's funny because he's super competitive. He's really good at sports and shit, right? But anytime I play anything with him, even if I get lucky and win, don't even fucking let that happen because I am talking shit the whole time, right? So I'm talking shit even when I'm losing, and it fucking pisses him off because I remember last time I was in Tucson a few months ago, we were playing pool, and he was like, "Man, fuck you." He's all leaving me with all these bullshit ass shots, and I was like, "Motherfucker," I was like, "You want me to leave you with good shit?" I was like, "Fuck you." I'm like, I'm trying to win, And
right.
So it's just, that's how I would be on the court, and I'd still probably lose.
Hey, man, you got shit. That makes it fun.
You know what, man? I'm the same way. If we're at a restaurant, I'm trying to finish my food before you. I'm just, I hear you.
Competitive.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of my. I went to Georgia Tech, and season ticket holder, and man, I don't go as hard as I used to. But boy, when we first started going out there, man, my goodness, it was always a fifth of whiskey, and all the beer you had in your cooler was gone at the end of the night. And my goodness, sometimes we stumbled into the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The game was time to sober up.
Yeah, they got down here. They got a party bus. Well, they used to before COVID,
Yeah.
and so like everyone in the valley, because we're Fresno's stuck in the middle of LA and Frisco. So
Yep.
everyone here, we're like the little brother trying to be the big tougher brother. So everyone tries to act extra hard because they're competing with the Bay in LA. And yeah, you get on those damn party buses. Well, shit, you got to get on it at 6 a.m. and they provide free alcohol. So you're starting to chub. By the time you get there, you're fucked up. You're like, hey, and then you're blowing, right? We're smoking the whole way. Every stop they stop, yeah, there you go. Every time the bus pulls over, we're chiefing. And oh yeah, you start crossfading all day, and it's a long day.
Long day.
Long day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, well, I mean, I know El Cucuy, you're out there in Fresno, and then you were telling me, Trey, that you're over there in you're in the Atlanta area, right?
Yeah, I'm in a suburb a little town called Lawrenceville, just on the northeast side of Atlanta.
We'll say you're from Clarenceville.
The Migos are from here.
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Quavo. Not Quavo. Not the one. Goodness gracious. Not Takeoff. Offset. Shit. Takeoff. Offset. Quavo. Offset was like one of my best friends. That's like one of his neighbors. He was in high school.
Oh, really?
They went to Berkmore High School. Was right not far from here at all. Yeah, and now they like on top of it now.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So I know you said that you were you got into tennis and all that shit. So are you a Falcons fan? Are you into the NFL at all? NBA, any of that shit?
Saints. He got his Saints.
Who that, baby?
Oh yeah, you said Louisiana, huh?
Come on, man. I'm from Baton Rouge.
He got that Reggie Bush. Is that Reggie
on,
Bush?
Man. Hey, that was the Super Bowl year,
is.
man. The Super Bowl year. I don't even wear that jersey, man. It just kind of stays like there.
So a couple of weekends ago, it was heartbreaking for you, huh?
Oh my gosh, I just got to the point where I'll actually watch the damn Super Bowl, man.
So what's your thoughts on Drew Brees, man? You think he should come back for a couple years, or is he through, Vo?
No, go ahead and go out, brother.
He's done, huh?
Go ahead and do your thing, man.
You going with Jameis, or are you gonna rock with what's that other cat?
I don't know, man. I trust Sean Payton.
Yeah.
On that. I trust
Yeah,
Sean.
he's earned that. You're right. I give him that. What's the other cat's name? The backup?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. That's right.
He's a beast, bro.
He's a beast. So is Jameis. They can get his interceptions under control.
He had the eye surgery.
Yeah. Oh, he had. And I had that too. You know what's crazy? I got that in 2020, so I know it works.
Yeah. So
what did you get? What surgery was it?
The LASIK eye surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like 20 over 200 in one of my eyes, and I got that surgery. And yeah, I'm 20/20 still, and that was over 20 years ago. So that definitely should help him. I remember back in the I remember in the 80s they had a rumor about Vinny Testaverde because he threw so many interceptions. They said he was colorblind, so he thought everyone was on his team.
Oh shit.
And Jameis threw a lot of picks too, but I like Jameis. I liked him at Florida State.
Yeah, he was a beast. He was a beast. I didn't like him because they beat up on Georgia Tech when they had a chance, but hey,
right.
Yeah, no doubt.
So he got to go, huh? Drew Brees got to go.
I'm not saying he's got to go. If he comes back, I'm with him. I'm with the Saints, man. I've been with the Saints my whole life, and so I know the Saints when we didn't win shit. So I'm happy that we're getting these more than 10 win seasons, and we're going to the. I get these hats like almost every year, right? NFC South champions.
Hey, bro, just rub it in because I'm a Raider fan, so just keep rubbing it in. It's all good. I don't know what none of that's like. I mean, I'm a Warrior fan, so I got a little bit of that.
Y'all beat us though.
But nah, man, the Raiders, we're cursed. We're cursed. Al Davis signed a deal with the devil. I'm telling you.
Hey, did you get a chance to see the 30 for 30 on Al Davis?
I haven't. I know a lot about it just from being a fan all these years and kind of following everything, but I have not. I'm going to watch it. But no, he signed a deal with the devil, guaranteed.
You just gave us homework, Trey.
What'd you say?
Yeah, no,
You just gave us homework. Now we need to watch that shit.
Dude,
for sure.
yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of stuff on nowadays, but that one in particular, I started watching it last night. I didn't finish it because I started doing something else because I had something else to do. But I called myself, I was like, I'm just gonna look at the intro. I ended up watching like first 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
From the tuck rule to everything. I mean, we just, to the center going AWOL, and then they knew our plays in the Super Bowl, 51-3 at Buffalo. I mean, I got them all, man. At Derek Carr, we were 12-4. He gets hurt, and we can't go in the playoffs in 2016. And and just a lot of it's stupidity, right? Raiders never make really good decisions. And I'm kind of a Colin Cowherd fan. I listen to Colin Cowherd, but he's right. Like, the Steelers don't go nowhere. The Saints ain't going nowhere for the last 10, 15 years. They got solid foundations, and no matter what the pieces that are exchanged, they're still competitive. And, we're like, me and my homie, we've been season ticket holders since about 2006 up until they moved to Vegas. And every year we're like, if we can go 8-8, we're good. And when your hopes is 8-8, it's not a good time for the franchise.
But I bet you have a good time when you go to the game because you're thinking about the good time in the fellowship more than you are the game, right?
Yep, you're thinking about the parking lot for sure.
And if you win, it's a bonus.
Right. No, for sure. That's where it got to.
That's how.
Hey, if we win, everyone's acting stupid. Like, that's the thing. That parking lot is sad as shit about 4:00 if we lose. If we win, the party's going on. I remember straight out. I went to one of the first Warrior NBA final games because I've been a fan of them since '98 too. So they were a lot like the Raiders until Steph and Iguodala and everyone until 2015. Actually, until 2000, I still got a picture.
I like when Baron Davis was there.
Oh, the We Believe team. That was the only excitement I had until we started getting back to the playoffs was that one year. And anyhow, I went to the NBA Finals and we won. It was like game 1 against Cleveland. I think I went a couple times. I don't know if it was 2015 or 2016, but I still got the video. And so we won. It was Oakland, right? They were getting hypey. They had Mac Dre and Too Short playing outside the arena. The whole parking lot was getting down for hours. Like, nobody went home, right? They were just playing the music and the stadium was playing it. And it was something else.
Blowjob Betty was playing for fucking everybody.
Hey, remember that video I sent you, Daniel, versus the regular train ride, and then the Bay Area train ride? That's how the whole parking lot was.
Yeah, that shit's so funny. Trey, El Cucuy sent me this video, and it says a normal train ride, right? And they got people like holding onto the bar and shit. And they're like, and then it shows the train ride in the bay, and everybody's like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Even they got some old fucking white dude in a suit in the back, and he's like, it was dope.
And you have to, at that point, the whole train starts going for it. You can't be the only couple people not. You got to roll. You got to ride with it.
That's funny.
No doubt. So El Cucuy, you're in Fresno.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Daniel Javier feeds, like, as Camino does it. Where are you located?
I'm in Arizona. I'm in Yuma, Arizona. So we're about 10 minutes from the Mexico border. About 2 hours, 2.5 hours or so from San Diego. About 2.5 hours from Phoenix. So we're like right in the middle.
Yeah. How about this? How about I own some property in Bisbee, Arizona.
Oh, really?
My dad was actually stationed at Fort Huachuca for a little while. I don't know if you guys know of
Doug Stanhope. He's a comedian. He lives in Bisbee like 90% of the time. So yeah, that's cool, man. I know, and it's funny. You were talking about Louisiana and shit. I felt maybe like now it's like 2 weeks ago. I was flying back from Florida because we went to Orlando, and we were supposed to go to Dallas, and they closed down the Dallas airport. So then they were like, we got to flip around and we got to go to Louisiana. So we're going to be in New Orleans for a little while. And they didn't let us get off the plane or nothing because they were like, it's going to take forever if people do that shit. So I got to see New Orleans through the window. So
so you never got a chance to hang out in the Big Easy?
Nah. And me and my girl were kind of like, all right, cool. Well, we didn't really give a fuck. There were some people in front of us who were like some old white people, and they were like, this is bullshit, and they were like, and we were like, oh fuck yeah, we're going to New Orleans, So we were like, fuck it. Or like maybe if they have us like with the layover for like even a night, I'm all we could fucking go out for a little bit, you know? But they were like, oh no, we're just gonna wait for the airport in Dallas to open back up. And we were like, fuck. So there I am looking out the fucking window, and we could see.
Damn.
We had to stay on the plane for like a fucking hour before they were able to fly out of there. So I was just like, it was funny though because my girl's like, she's like, you have fun getting to see New Orleans? Because like we're flying out and I get to see all the boats and shit. And I was just like looking out the window like, fuck man, there was my chance. I don't know when the fuck I'm ever gonna be back this way, you know?
Wow.
I ain't been there in 11 years, man. I'm trying to get back as quick as I can. Luckily, I got a job right now where I work remotely from the computer. So I'm trying to go out there just for a week, even if I'm just eating, eating some food at night, 5 nights a week, and I get one day to go check it out again. The crazy thing, when I went and they did a gator tour, bro. That's what you got to do when you go there. They got the marshmallows and they feed them motgators with the stick.
Oh, for real?
Them swamp tours, yeah, that's it.
I got some video from doing one of those, yeah, no doubt. And
that motherfucker gets close.
The bed, oh hell yeah, they like right there. You like in the boat, they right there. Yeah, mouth open.
Nah, fuck
and they
got, my girl's white, and I tell her about shit like that. I'm like, that's how white people die. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, I'll die a heart attack or my fucking blood pressure or something. I'm like, but you ain't gonna see my ass dying getting eaten by a fucking alligator. That ain't never gonna happen to no Mexican, you know?
They go on the swamp boat. The only thing I got nervous is they had the damn fan for the motor and shit. I'm like, this motherfucker breaks. I see fans break all the time. This thing better not leave us stranded in the swamp. But
you went on the airboat.
Yeah, the airboat.
That's even more dope.
Yeah,
we went a slow roller.
Yeah, I love New Orleans. We got that damn 5-pound bag, the tray. I swear to God, man, that damn crawfish was like this. It was big. It was 5 pounds. I think at the time it was only like $15. Yeah. I do love New Orleans. Marie Laveau.
El Cucuy, you're down with that shit with that like that all that seafood and shit too. Because didn't the other day you just make like clam like linguine or some shit?
Yeah, we got an Italian restaurant out here, and that's what they did. They got some clam and linguine.
Yeah,
I fuck with it. You know what my theory is? Because I lived on the beach in Humboldt, 2 different spots, and I lived in Oregon. And when you're that close, the seafood's fresh, right? Like you're getting good quality seafood, especially with the gators, right? We ain't got gators out here in Cali, so I know they ain't importing that shit. They're right there. You know what I mean? So like gator nuggets, man. I got drunk and I had some gator nuggets. Oh, that shit was bomb.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought you were making that shit up right now.
Oh, bro.
Nah, bro. Oh, them gator nuggets.
Gator nuggets. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that, dog? Fucking gator nuggets.
It's like chicken nuggets, but gator meat.
Yeah, that shit good as fuck. They got all kind of sauces and shit. You can dunk that shit in. It's over.
Man.
Gator nuggets.
Hey, man, we can season some food down there on the bayou, brother.
Oh, they get down. Oh, yeah, that's some of the best food. Like, that's one spot I would go just for the food. For sure. If there was nothing else, like I like everything else too, because I like the culture in New Orleans. But let's just say I wasn't digging it, right? I would go just for the food.
Yeah, believe it.
It's just hot as fuck. That's the thing. It's just sticky. I do not dig that.
Well, I mean, like right now, it's comfortable.
Yeah, is it?
You know what I mean? Like you go off season. Well, actually, no. Now it's carnival season, but then it's COVID time, so it didn't really matter. But off season. Like if it's not Mardi Gras and all that, if you can go in the fall, it'll feel better. But most people go in the summer and you damn bake.
Hey, I'm a bad influence. I got my girl's 13-year-old son. He's over here and shit. And a little while ago, speaking of New Orleans, I was telling him that they show titties for beads. I was telling him he need to get some beads and he goes to New Orleans because they show their titties.
Hey, 13. He's good.
Oh, don't worry, good. Old enough.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Hopefully he's already seen some at school anyways, right?
Well, I remember we were like in 5th and 6th grade. We were like 10 or 11 years old. We were little perverts. So that's fucking. For sure. So 13, man, he's been seeing titties for years, especially now with the internet.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right about that. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. But
I
was gonna ask you, Trey, real quick. There, you said that I think it was your dad or somebody that was stationed over there in Bisbee.
Yeah, Fort Huachuca. Like our apartment was in we didn't live on Post. Our apartment was in Sierra Vista.
Okay. Did did you travel a lot? I mean, I'm guessing. You said you were stationed over there, so you're a military brat, right?
So yeah, I'm a military brat for sure. But my dad, when he would travel, we would stay in Louisiana for the most part.
Oh, cool.
And when he went to Arizona, we went with him for a little while. So I actually kind of spent a nice little bit of time in Arizona. I mean, I think I was 16. Yeah, 16, like right after my sophomore year. And I went out there. I don't know what it was. I used to do PT with his platoon or battalion or whatever they call it. And we'd be out there and in the mountains running in the morning, doing all the chants and stuff. That shit was magical, man. I love that, man. And then, I come back home and then just hang out on post, man, meet all the different kids from everywhere. It was dope. It was dope, man. I love my time in Arizona, man. It changed me. I grew like 5 inches while I was out there and came back to Louisiana. Like, my friends were like, who in the hell is this?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is a lot of military brats, they either love it like you're speaking about or they don't like it, right? Is that what your experience was? Either they love it or they don't, right?
I think I only loved it because it was temporary for me. Because I always knew when it was time for school, I was back in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it was like a vacation.
Yeah, basically.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I had my ex, she was a military brat, and at times, depending on her mood, because it changed a lot, at times if you asked her, she loved it because like a lot of the friends she made, she did move around. So when her pops dipped, she was in like Japan for a while, and then she was in Port Hueneme and down south for a little bit in California. So she moved. So I know a lot of the connections she made at some of those stops, the relationships, she still had them, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then at times she would bitch. Like at times she said it was fucked up because she could never be with her friends for more than 3 years. But
right. I can only imagine that.
So it's I've heard both, you know what I mean? I've heard people that love it, you know what I mean? And then people that are like, nah, it ain't right. So it's good to hear your perspective for sure.
Yeah. But, like I said, she actually was full time. I wasn't full time, so I guess I kind of cheated.
That's one thing I like, man. Is what? I'll be honest. Fresno's a melting pot, man. We got everybody, right? And so I grew up with all my best friends, everybody, and I'm always intrigued by culture. I want to see culture, why people do what they do, why as far as even belief systems, food, like family, the way families, because a lot of cultures, if they have strong family ties, they only vary a little, right? Your strength is the core of your family, but a lot of things are different. I like to check that shit out, man. I like to go different places and just see what everyone else is doing, right? Like, I know how we rock in Cali, but everyone else does it their own way, and I know that doesn't make anyone better than the next place. So I'm always curious, like, what do you guys rock out there? What are you guys eating? What are you guys eating before the football game? Like, I know what we grill out here most of the time, but what are they grilling in New Orleans? Does Gator hit the grill at the you know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious, man. So I like to travel just to kind of immerse myself in other people, how they get down, if possible,
Yeah.
Shit, what is the typical pregame out there? What's on? If Baseline Tre's having himself a tailgate party at the Saints game, what you making?
Oh my gosh. It's according to what I'm in the mood for. So if I'm in the mood for seafood, then I'm going to bring my fryer and everything. And I'm bringing, and we do this at Georgia Tech. Like, we get together and we do some pretty good tailgates, but I bring my Louisiana flavor. So sometimes I might make a dish at home and just bring it and have it and just warm it up. Like, I might make some crawfish etouffee or something. Like, I might get real on you.
That's what I was waiting for right there.
And then I'll bring that, and we'll have like a big, it'll just be in the crock pot, right? But if we're just sitting there, like, man, we've done when we play Georgia, it's usually the weekend, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we'll fry turkey. We'll do a Creole fried turkey, the whole thing.
Yeah.
We do
that shit right there is why I like to travel. Just you already got me hungry. My stomach's growling already, man. That's what I like to hear, right? That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Keep going, man. Don't let me stop you. Keep going.
We'll fry fish. We do our, we love our fried fish.
Mm-hmm.
We do our fried fish. We'll do fried chicken. We'll fry or we'll grill. And then we're grilling. We could do, it might just be regular stuff, wings, burgers, dogs, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to always add a little flair to it. You know what I mean? Like, we'll
you know what? No, there was actually something that a comedian said back in the day. It was, I think it might have even been like George Lopez or some shit, but he said the reason why black people and Latinos get along so well is because they said black people like to fry shit and then we like to refry it. So
I'm married into a Latino family, so they're Peruvian and the food is amazing. You know what I mean?
Dope.
Hell yeah! And that's one thing. And at Oakland, we have a lot of crazy food too. But you know what? There's not a whole lot of frying going on. I mean, people will bring fried chicken, like they'll bring fried foods and stuff, but it's barbecue. Now they'll go buffet style, like the Latinos will get like the buffet with all the pans that stay warm, and they'll have the enchiladas, and they'll have like the whole get up, and there's a lot of barbecuing and stuff. But there's not a lot of frying, so I'm a little jealous. We got to step it up a little bit out here. Then you start talking about
this. I got to name this episode "Food."
Man,
hey,
food with Baseline Tre and El Cucuy.
Shoot, maybe we can do one where I can set out by the grill, man, like trying to take y'all through some of that Creole goodness.
Hell yeah. What about the cake? What's that crazy ass cake they got?
King cake. The
king cake. Yeah.
My sister just sent us one, man, with the
what is that? I never even heard of it.
So for Mardi Gras season or Carnival season, starting on Three Kings Day, the tradition is it came from France in like the 1800s or something like that. But it came over to Louisiana, and it's basically commemorating the three wise men bringing gifts to the baby Jesus. And so basically, it's just a brioche bread cake, but it's got like cinnamon, baked with cinnamon inside, with this like this icing, this sugar icing, but now they got the cream cheese icing.
I've seen that,
and it's got the purple, the colors of Mardi Gras, purple, yellow, and green.
I'm a cheater, man. I go to CajunGrocer.org and I see all that stuff on there. I know it ain't the same, but it's close. It's as close as you're gonna get without being there. One of the best treats I had. It was simple as shit. I think it was on my last day or two before I left New Orleans. I spent a week down there. I went down there vacation for a week, and we stayed at the old. It was the Ramada, I believe, right there on
Canal.
On what's that down on Bourbon. It was on the
corner. Bourbon. Okay, yeah.
And we stayed for a week, man. And I remember when we left, it was like we were driving to the airport, I think, and we stopped at some little hole in the wall, which to me is every time I travel, the hole in the walls are the best, man. It is what it is. And I remember they took a little ass pie, a cherry pie, the ones like the little snack pies. They deep fried that motherfucker, and then they threw sugar on top. Oh my god, that shit was hot. And it was a little ass pie. And so I've been doing the same shit, right? Because all you gotta do is fry it for a couple minutes with some oil, take it out, pat it down, and hit it with that little powdered sugar. And that was in New Orleans. It was something so simple and so cheap, but they made it so damn good.
You want to hear something that? You want to hear something that was simple that my daughter won't eat shit besides like chicken nuggets. Like I know Rich and fucking Covino talk about how like your kids will only eat certain foods and shit. My daughter is the pickiest fucking kid I've ever met in my life, right? Well, when we were in Florida, she had for the first time she had fucking sweet potatoes, right? So it was so funny because I was like, hey, Kennedy, I was like, go ahead and try this. And she was like, I don't like that shit. I'm keeping it real, like fucking, always saying, but it was funny though. Cause we got her to taste it. And then she was so adamant about, I don't like that shit. And then when she tried it and she liked it, she was like, can I have some more? Like after she had it. And I was like, yeah, that's what I thought, you little shit. Fucking try new foods,
Hell yeah. Hey, speaking of, I got a question for you guys, man. They have brought something up on the Covino Rich show, and tell me if you guys agree, man. So they were talking chicken wings. Remember, Covino said he went to the coma because he had 10, right? Mm-hmm. But he had boneless. So I'm gonna ask. This is my opinion. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Is a boneless wing not nothing more than a glorified fucking chicken nugget?
That's all it is.
Yeah,
that's all it is, right?
I love them. But if I want wings, I don't really know that's what you're going for. I love traditional, and especially like a bigger boy like me. I mean, you don't think I'm fucking putting effort into what I'm eating, but if you're going to go boneless, I mean, that's just like you said, it's like eating a fucking chicken nugget. So if you go a real traditional and you fucking kick back on the sauce, then they're not that bad for you,
Right. Well, and I do it, and that's not an attack on Covino because I eat the boneless ones from top. What I'll do is when Buffalo Wild Wings or they got because they never really give you the real ones on deal. When it's like Wing Wednesday, it's always those damn nuggets. You know what I mean? So if I'm trying to do multiple flavors, right, they ain't giving you the real ass wings for 60 cents. You're getting a damn nugget. That's what and that's the hustle, right? Because all it is a nugget. That's my question. It's a nugget. So why are you calling it a boneless wing? Motherfucker, there ain't no wing in it.
No wing.
That's the meat patty.
No wing. So from now and forevermore, those are no longer wings. Those are just glorified nuggets.
They're trying to pull the okey doke on us. They're trying to change the name, right, and put a little more breading on it so it looks a little thicker and call it a wing, but it ain't no damn boneless wing.
No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna change the name of Buffalo Wild Wings to Buffalo Wild Nuggets. If you're getting if your ass is gonna get some fucking boneless wings, and if you're like, hey, you know what I feel like having? I feel like buffalo. Be like, all right, well, are you gonna get boneless or traditional? And be like, I'm going boneless. Well, then your ass is gonna get some fucking buffalo or fucking Buffalo Wild fucking nuggets because this ain't no wings in that shit. You know, they're fucking. Who knows even what kind of fucking meat they're putting in that shit? You know,
right?
It's like the fucking bologna of fucking like appetizers and shit. You know, where they fucking put the like bologna and hot dogs. They squish all the fucking leftovers together.
Right. That's what. Yeah, you ain't lying. That's what that shit is too.
And I like bologna too. So fucking, I'm not hating. You know.
Hey, gotta be fried though. Gotta be fried.
I'm not hating, but when I get wings, I'm getting bone in. That's just
me too.
You know what? Actually, El Cucuy, you said something right now. You said,
what's that?
I don't know if it's when you grow up a little hood and you do shit like that, where you're fucking like you fry your bologna, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
That was something. I don't know, Trey, if you're on fucking Cobra Kai at all, but
oh man, yeah.
Yeah, well, fucking,
I binged the whole
what's his name? Johnny Lawrence. They fucking cut to him in his kitchen, and that motherfucker's cooking fucking, he's frying some bologna.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, that's hood as fuck. I'm like, I like that dude, but now I like him a little more, you know?
What about fried Spam? Everyone's got to have fried some Spam at some time.
You know what?
Right?
No. I did that shit like 2 weeks ago, right? Or no, maybe it was like closer to a month ago. And my girl was fucking like, she's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm frying some Spam, you know? And I'm like, this is what I fucking do. I'm fucking poor and I'm Mexican, you know? And she's like, I've never had that before. My girl will be fucking, she's 28, I think. I don't know. She's born in 92, whatever that makes her. She ain't never had Spam until like a month ago. And I was like, are you fucking serious? And then it was funny though, because she tasted it. And then she was like, oh, this shit's good. She goes, it kind of tastes like ham. And I was like, bitch, it's Spam. It's fucking ghetto ham, you know? And she was like, well, what's the SP for in Spam? I was like, I don't know, like special product ham for ham.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
And you know, we know what's crazy is I fuck with some Spam, but in Hawaii, that's their food of choice.
Really?
Oh, for sure. Like over here in, you know, Cali, every gas station, we got like taquitos and burritos and corn dogs and shit like that. You know, out there they got all the 7-Elevens, they got this shit called masubi, and it's a piece of Spam, and it's over some warm rice with a seaweed, and it's like that's their snack.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, if I keep eating Spam, I could look like The Rock.
Yeah, it could happen. You might have to get the tattoos to match, but you're good. You're on your way.
Yeah. All right, man. I know, because fucking if that's the Hawaii, I think The Rock's like originally from Hawaii or some shit, right? He's Samoan or some shit.
I think so. I'm always hoping to see Barack when I go out there because he stays on Oahu, so he got a pad out there. Oh yeah, they love Barack out there.
I'm sure, no doubt.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. Everywhere you go, he's like the second coming of Jesus.
I can hold.
No, I'm serious.
Just kind of a change of topic real quick, Trey. I wanted to ask you, and sometimes I leave this shit in the show and sometimes I don't, but I'm just always curious.
Yeah.
When it comes to Covino and Rich, I want to know your story on two questions. Mm-hmm. You know, how long have you been listening? And second question is, how did you find them?
Well, I found them. Well, what happened is I've been listening since the beginning. I think I dropped in. I didn't drop in on the first ever episode, but it was in their first season. On Maxim Radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a job where I was out in the field a lot. And so I was, at the time I was an implementation engineer, and I was out, commissioning these wireless systems. And so I'm just on the road. I'm just out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes just me, the car, the computer, and XM radio. And so I started just listening to ESPN radio and different things. And I ended up one day I saw Maxim and I knew what Maxim was about. So I was like, well, I need to check this out. And I just happened to drop in on this show of these two guys talking about shit and that I was like, damn, that's what I'm thinking about all day. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the ass days.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That was the ass days. That was it.
I remember the pool party at man. Like when I go back and listen to the when the throwbacks, that's one of the ones that I can listen to like it's brand new every time.
So you've seen the fellows grow too then, since you've been a listener. Like they've changed a little, like the content hasn't really changed, but instead of ass gazing, because back in those days they were fucking, right? Yeah, I mean, they were going.
Yeah, I mean, we damn near kind of grew up together in a way. You know what I mean? Because my daughter's 4, and I know like how old is Emmy? Like
3.
So,
my daughter's 4, and Emmy's almost like a year exactly younger than my daughter. So yeah, she's 3.
There you go. So you and I are similar. So my daughter was born on March 11th of 2016. So, at the same time, Covino already had a kid, but just like their conversation and their content changed, so did life.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
we grew.
Yeah. Right. And we're right in step with the same dilemmas they going through. We're going through the same thing. Maybe not the same scale all the time, but same thing, man.
Hey, I got a question for you, Baseline Tre. How about did you listen to any of the other shows like Devore and Diana or Stretch on that channel? Did you get invested in the channel, or did you only go with Covino and Rich?
It was only Covino and Rich. And before that, like I was listening to like Jamie Foxx's channel was the Foxhole, I think it was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to comedy there. The Playboy channel, I listened to some.
Me too.
I mean, shit, that was why I got it, because I was like, I can go listen to this, uncut, raw, radio. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get down on it. And I listened. I mean, maybe a few times Stern, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen Stern on TV more than I've seen him. More than I listen to the radio show.
You know what fucked it up for me for Stern was, I'll be honest, I know a lot of people ride his nuts, and obviously he's good at what he does, or he wouldn't be the media king that he is, right? So I'm definitely not gonna make a statement that challenges that, because it's only gonna make myself look ignorant, right? So I'm not gonna attack Howard Stern. I'm not gonna do it. However, I'm old enough to have seen his damn movie come out in the theater when he had that Private Part movie, and so have seen in his life story on like how much of a weenie he really was at one point or another. Like watching that story, and just, I don't know, man. I was never with his content. I think that's why I relate to Covino Rich, because like you said, a lot of the stuff they're going through, they're talking about, I love sports. I collected baseball cards. I watched WWF. You know what I mean? So they got me on that one. But Stern I don't really relate to him. Like some of his guests, when he has the certain guests on, that's cool. But I think I like Robin more than I like Howard, to be honest with you. And that's just just watching that movie.
Right. Exactly. I agree. I mean, when he had of course you're gonna go and he's got hot ass on there. So why are you not? You know what I mean? Like Carmen Electra when she was on there. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. I mean, it's the guests and the cast supporting cast. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
But I don't feel like I'm missing his content. If anything, when I miss a show, I maybe miss the Carmen Electra show.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. No, when it comes to Howard, I found Covino and Rich because I started listening to Howard. So I started listening to Howard for a minute. I found Covino and Rich like after Howard was over, and I was like flipping around. And for me, I dug his show for a minute, but it wasn't until I discovered Covino and Rich where I was like, fuck, this old white dude is like out of touch, and these dudes are, like you said, something you could relate to. And when I hear Howard Stern, still, I mean, he's still one of like my favorites on my little app or whatever. But what I do is I'll go through and I'll check to see if he has an interview. If he doesn't, then I'm not even trying to listen, because his shit is he's so fucking out of touch with like wacky callers and like fucking stupid like bits and shit where he's like, he thinks that shit's funny because, and maybe in his day it was, but I'm like, oh, we'll have fucking, Bill, the fucking dude with the stutter, and fucking, this guy has a cleft palate and shit. You're like, who gives a fuck? That shit's not funny.
Right.
You're picking on people, bro. That's a form of bullying. I mean, I hate to be a pussy, like they used to say, the pussification of America. And I feel like that by saying that right now. But we're in a time and age where you ain't picking on people no more, and you ain't talking shit like that. Yeah. That shit, I ain't laughing at someone else's fucking birth defect, at their expense. I'm not doing that shit, dude.
Yeah, no, actually, what I heard last night, I was listening to an interview with Brian Callen, and I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he has podcasts and shit. He's an actor or whatever. But he was saying that because he's a stand-up comedian, and he was saying that in his stand-up, he never, because it's not like it's off the fucking cuff, right? They're writing shit, and they're putting thought into it. He said that he never wrote like songs and shit about like. I mean, not songs. He never wrote jokes like about gay people and shit because his fucking theory was these people are coming out to see a show, and then there's gonna be some gay people in the crowd, right? And he said like even in the 90s he didn't do that shit because you think these people are trying to come and have a good time, and then they already face shit like that every day of being a fucking minority and being gay, right? As far as like people like talking shit or whatever. So he's like, they're gonna come to my show. And then I'm gonna make them feel kind of awkward, like that's not fucking cool, Right. And that's a good point that you make because I feel like Brian Callen said that same shit, and it's just kind of like I know Howard's like now more open and shit, but I just think he's out of touch,
Yeah, for sure, bro. And what's crazy too is Covino and Rich, they need a big high five, and for all the female listeners, a low five too. But they need a high five for creating brand loyalty. Because of their interaction, like their brand loyalty, right? Like I told you, Daniel, that how many times I've called, Sirius XM threatening to cancel, and because they try to play the okie doke and raise your rate. Right? So I tell them the only reason I'm even listening is for one show and one show only, because I can get ESPN on local radio, right? The only pain in the ass is like you said, Trey. I used to travel too, and so the one cool thing about Sirius was you had the same channels at all times. Right, you're not going city to city or county to county or whatnot looking for ESPN again and getting a busted ass signal. So with that being said, Covino or Rich, especially now we can download it, right? I mean, it can go back and rewind, and you call in, you can listen to your call like 3 different times or whatever because you can rewind it. And I don't know who else does. I do that. I don't know who else does it.
I did that a couple.
Hey, you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. The first couple of times that I did, I was like fucking over here like getting my mom and shit to listen. I'm like, Mom, check this shit out. I'm famous.
Yeah.
I always get nervous that they're going to hang up on me, dog, because they love to hang up on you.
Oh, they do. Remember Covino? We were talking about that. Remember Covino used to have the fastest finger in the East. Remember that shit? Do you remember that? Back in the day, he would say that shit. And they would get pissed because sometimes he would cut off a good caller. Like, sorry, bro.
Yeah, he'll cut you off, man. Like, I hope I don't say the wrong shit. And he'll cut your ass off.
with no ill intent, right? That's just who he is. Like he wasn't doing it to be a dick. That's just how he rocked.
Yep, that's just it. They got to keep.
No, you know what's funny is if I ever called in, I would probably called in like 3 times, 4 times, maybe ever. But it's funny because the couple of times, like the first couple of times especially, I was like, like I got to show this shit to like my friends or my mom or whoever, right? It always fucking happened. I'm like, I don't know if it's Murphy's Law or whatever the fuck it is, but I'd be like, I'd have my mom in the car or whatever, if like it was a replay or something. And I'm like, hey, check this shit out. This is where I call in. Check this shit out. It's fucking dope, right? Yeah. And then fucking Rich will be like, and then I took it out of her butt and some fucking poo fell out. And I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like right in front of my fucking mom, and
she's like, what are you listening to?
Yeah, never failed. Never fucking failed. It was always like, there was something like that. Or like, they're like coming up after the break, we're going to be talking about fucking the Jazz Cafe or some shit.
Jazz Cafe, yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I'll find it later so I can show you,
I think he's listening secretly to this podcast because, we do love Rich, but I know the last couple episodes we had some complaints about some of the shit he's been pulling. And when I called in the other day, I could hear his tone. He had a little, like he had a little sound and shit. Like Covino seemed like he was down to talk and shit, but not Rich. And maybe I'm tripping. Hey, maybe that's my self-conscious because, I like Rich. On him. I just don't see eye to eye all the time, man. We didn't grow up the same.
Nah, like we can get.
You know what?
That could be a whole other conversation.
You're doing exactly what we do. We go, all right, we're not gonna talk shit about him, right? We're like, cause we do like him, right?
I do.
But then you start to think about shit, and you're like, you know what pissed me off? And then it's so funny because I was telling El Cucuy the other day, it's not meant with any ill intent. We're not trying to be dicks. We're just like, this is how I fucking feel. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But he
it's your
knows,
but
he
it's your
knows
platform.
that, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
He has to. He has to know.
Come on, man. Like, yeah, hell yeah, he knows he's.
Who do you agree with, disagree with? What side of the argument do you usually find yourself on?
Usually
Covino,
on
Rich?
Covino's side. I'm usually on Covino's side. Usually.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes though, Rich might, sometimes like I guess when it comes to like I'm not as like when it comes to like relationships and being conservative, I'm not as conservative as like Covino is way old school. Like way
right.
Like he thinks that Rich is a damn freak.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. I'm on Rich's side with that. I totally agree.
Yeah. But most of the time, man, he annoys me, but I think that's kind of his thing. That's his role. Because whenever I'm in person, when I've met him in person, it's
He's
different.
Cool.
He is fidgety. But like we went to Magic City.
Okay.
And and it was cool hanging out with them. Like Covino actually stayed in the car. And then
really?
he came in for a second to go use the restroom. Man, he stayed a little bit. He stayed
in that damn restroom, man.
he didn't want to leave his chonies in Magic City. He already left them in El Segundo.
He was sleeping in the car, and but he kept setting the alarm off because he was in the seat, and he had to move to the back. But he eventually came in. But yeah, man, like Rich, he was cool in the club. We were chilling. But
no, and you know what though? I think that's true when you say like, oh, he was cool and I met him in person and shit. Yeah. And the thing is, we listen to both of them, and well, all three of them if you include Spot. But we have a lot, I think, way more in common with them than we don't. Like as far as like, if you're with Rich, you're like, yeah, we fucking like. We didn't grow up the same, but we could fucking bullshit about sports or fucking TV or whatever. Yeah, and like you said, like we all like have families now, and we're all fucking like around that age, and like when you're chilling with them, and like the few times I've met him, nothing but fucking a cool dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think it is different when you're listening to them every day though. Like if I was listening to my fucking family every day, like for fucking 3 hours at a time,
you can
I'd be fucking, I'd be bitching about my brother. I mean, I bitch about my brother, and I talk to him like twice a week, maybe.
Right. You know what it is, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. Again, I come from a neighborhood where everybody was a melting pot, complete every race, right? Everybody. I mean, Indians that own casinos to Indians from India.
Right.
And tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm an Italian dude. So I'm like the lowest form of white, but I'm in there, I guess. But we were discriminated against too at one point. You know what I mean? But tell me this assessment, what you guys feel? Typical white family, oldest sibling. No peanut butter and jelly till he's 30. Like he just seems like he got his way a lot as a kid. Like the firstborn, oldest child. Like, cause you can kind of hear it when the way he talks about Jimmy. Right, every word.
You realize
you're right, and he talks like he's better than Jimmy, right? Like, I don't know. I just and I like Rich, but I think that's why like a lot of his antics are like fit throwing, bro. Like it's almost like he doesn't. No one really. He's almost. I hate to say this. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. He's gonna really hate me after this. But it's really Donald Trump-ish, right? As soon as someone tells him no, boy, the party's over.
Yeah, he's kind of. I guess he's always been kind of put on that pedestal, man. You know what I mean? And
you guys see that too, or no? And again, I say this with no ill intent. You're right, dude. When I seen him, he's hella cool. I like Rich. I like having a beer with him. I like bullshitting with him. Good dude, right? Not attacking his character by any means, but just some of his shit seems like when he's told no or someone don't agree, the shit's on.
Like a narcissist. Like he's like, it's like, yeah, if it's my way or no way.
And you guys are just fucking dumb. And then remember how he starts, you guys are fucking idiots. You know how he gets it? He gets raging, like Raging Rich, like peanut butter.
Oh man, Raging Rich. Yeah. Man.
Did you guys ever try that Oxy Elite Pro that made him fucking Raging Rich?
No, I didn't.
No. No, I remember there was some shit that I had taken back in the day. I must have been like 18. and I was lifting. Me and my buddies used to lift fucking quite a bit back in the day. And I remember I started taking some shit, and I was like, I never became like raging rich, but there were some times, I don't know if it was because that shit, especially, we're going back like fucking 10 years or more.
Yeah.
More than 10 years if I was 18. Well, it's funny because I'm like, there was times where we'd be lifting and I thought my fucking heart was going to pop out of my chest, you know? Like, there was some shit. It was like, I think they put like fucking like 300,000 milligrams of caffeine. That's all they did back in the day, you know?
Right.
What was the, I did take hydroxycut before ephedra.
Oh, shit.
Ephedrine. What is ephedrine? Ephedrine, that's what, man, that shit was real.
You know what's funny? There was actually, we were going down, and this is like maybe not even 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. We're rolling down the street, and this is when like that ephedra or whatever the fuck it was that you were saying had been like rolled out and you couldn't have it and shit. Well, this is how you know you live in kind of a sketchy part of the fucking world and shit. We're driving down the street, and there was a truck, and on the camper shell, it said like ephedra or whatever the fuck it was with the arrow pointing. Like, we sell it in this shop. They didn't give a fuck. And this was whenever it was, like, rolled out or whatever.
Man, yeah.
I remember me and my homie were like, hey, isn't that shit illegal now? And we were like, I don't know. We just kept driving. But it was fucking, I was like, those motherfuckers had no chill, you know? They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, man.
I got to go one for you. I remember when I was 18, dude, we went to TJ. And we went down there and we bought some, we were working out too. And we bought a couple of cycles at the damn pharmacy down there and brought them back over. And I remember, dude, I was about 3 weeks into that shit. It was just the pills, right? No shots or nothing. But it was like Anadrol pills or I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And it's a long time ago. And I remember I was taking them. We're working out. We're trying to get big. And it was working, right? You could see gains immediately. But I remember one day, dude, I was driving. I had a little Honda CRX. And
I had one too, Bill.
Yeah. Oh, this thing smashed. Had a little stick shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they dipped. And I remember someone cut me off. And I fucking chased them like 10 miles out into the country and shit. I had road rage. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I can't do this no more. That was it. I never took them again.
Fucking funny.
Damn, that's my first car.
Rich, I can relate to Rich on that one and his peanut butter knife, right? I had the same meltdown. That's crazy. Yeah. No, you know, and I was just telling my girl's son the other day too. We was talking about bullies or whatever, and I remember, you know, we got some moments we weren't proud of as kids, and I remember this kid shit himself on the school bus when we were little, and we called him shit stain all the way through fucking elementary school, middle school, and high school.
Okay, El Cucuy, you say you're white and shit, dog, but this is some shit that, again, some George Lopez shit. He said that you can't, anything you do, like as a kid or whatever, that nickname sticks with you forever. He was like, you shit your pants one time, all of a sudden you're fucking caca. So even when you're fucking old, they'll be like, hey, did you hear? Fucking caca's getting married.
Well, and you know what? You know how real that is too, because we had another homie. I don't even know his real name, bro. I went to school with him since the 2nd grade, right? And we caught him eating his boogers in class, and his name was Moki. That's his name, is Moki. If I see him to this day as a 40-year-old dude, he's Moki. I don't know. I don't even know his real name, bro. I don't know his name. That's Moki, and everyone in the neighborhood called him Moki. Ain't nobody called him by.
No, you know what's crazy about that is like you think about shit like that. Like there was a girl named Maria in kindergarten, shit her pants, right? We were fucking seniors in high school being like, hey, you know Maria? He'd be like, yeah, the one that shit her pants. Dog, and you think about it, like my daughter, she'll be 5 in May. And I'm like, you think about that girl Maria was like that age when she shit her pants, like, and you know, but us, since we remember it, we're like, oh yeah, Maria, the one that shit her pants. To this day, fucking, if somebody brings her up, they're like, oh yeah, the girl that shit her pants. Like it was last week when it was fucking 20 some odd years ago, 30 years ago, you know?
Wow. No, hey, I got a good one, dude. We had this dude, we called him Soap Bottle, bro. He stayed the night at his buddy's house. He was at his homie's house, bro. He wasn't even at home. And motherfucker was humping the soap bottle or something in the bathroom and it got stuck, dude. No, it got stuck. He had to call his mom. They had to take him to the ER. Like, he was at, and that's how you know it's a true story. Because, no, he was at his homie's house, and the soap bottle got stuck, dude. He never lived that down.
He was like a dog, you know. When dogs, there was something I seen recently where, it was on like King and the Sting or some shit where they were playing a video of these dogs stuck together because the shit goes inside the other dog and then like swells up, right? That's what happened to your homie. He fucking
he got, I don't know, maybe he wasn't all the way ripe and shit when you put it in, and then he got too excited. And I don't know what happened, but
oh my god,
go to the doctor, bro.
That
never
shit's
live
funny.
that
You know what? It reminds me of like Rich like banging his couch and shit, and it's just funny. The shit.
Hey,
The
I was gonna
shit
say
you
that,
think
but I'll let you
about.
say it.
Yeah, for real though, the shit like you do when you're a kid and you're fucking, you don't know what to do with yourself. You're like, I've never been horny before, but this shit feels good. No matter what I rub it against, and fucking Rich is fucking his couch. Your homie's fucking his fucking soap bottle. I have a homie that used to fuck his pillow.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that's great.
Never live that shit down ever.
Oh man, soap bottle. That's your fucking homie.
Not my homie. He was just a kid in the neighborhood.
You ain't
Fuck
claiming him.
that. Hey, he didn't have any homies after that.
Oh,
Because then they all got picked on together as a group. You did not want to be with that dude.
oh my
no.
god.
Which is fucked up, because again, they probably don't rock like that now. And we were 80s kids. I mean, things were different back then. It just was what
No,
it had no love.
You know what?
That's true.
It's funny because my homie Luis, last time I was in Tucson, and his fucking wife was like, we were telling stories about like when we were in high school, and she's like, you guys were fucking bullies, and I was like, no, we weren't. I was like, like, and then we started telling stories and shit, and we're like, we were kind of fucking assholes, like,
yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you're a kid, you're like fucking like, you don't think about it. You're just being like, you're making a dumb joke or you're fucking like whatever. But it's so funny because I can guarantee you there's people from fucking high school that do not like me. I'll give
bro,
you an example.
no.
Oh, wow.
There was a girl.
I got a couple stories.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one real quick. I had put on Facebook, and this like 2 years ago. So there was this girl. I put on Facebook a lyric from like a Good Charlotte song, right? And it said something about the cool kids or some shit used to make fun of us or some bullshit. This girl, I never fucking knew had a problem with me, right? She was on my Facebook. She commented on my shit and she was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you were one of the kids that used to like make fun of us and shit because like she was one of like the like weird kids and shit or whatever. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, you took offense to my stupid little fucking comments and shit? Like, I thought we were just breaking balls and shit, but
Yeah.
or making dumb comments during class. I didn't know that shit stuck with her for like the 15 years we've been out of school,
Yeah.
I had a kid, man. He moved into my neighborhood at like a Christmas vacation, right? So I remember the little school was across the street from my house, so we'd always go play in the field and play football and whatever, basketball. And so he was out there one day, right? And he seemed all right, didn't whatever. I wasn't a bully or no shit like that, but I don't remember what happened. But we were gonna square up. And this motherfucker was hitting golf balls out in that school field, and he swung the golf club at me. So I ducked, rushed him, took him down, kicked the shit out of him. Well, I picked on him ever since after that. Again, I'm not proud of this. If I could change it, I would. But it happened. And that little fucker took it so personal that like 20 years later, my pops was trying to buy windows, and he was I don't know what he was. He was somewhere up on the ladder in the windows, and he told my dad, you know what, your son's an asshole. He used to pick on me and bully me, and your business ain't welcome here. And he told my dad that. And my dad's even more old school. Obviously, he's older than me. He got a little fucking pussy. I don't want to buy his windows anyways. but it's fuck, man. That's the bully shit. Not something I'm proud of.
It got us ready for real life, though.
It did, because no one told you were special. If anything, they told you weren't shit. You know what I mean? Like, they told us we weren't shit and we weren't gonna be nothing. Now they're lying to all these kids and they're setting them up for failure because they're all telling them they're special. But when they hit real life, they ain't special.
They can't take a failure.
Hey, and you know what? I don't give a fuck. Like even like when you were telling me, Trey, how like you fucking your family's in the military and you were talking about college and this, and it's just like knowing Trey just from the music and from Covino and Rich, I never would have thought any of that shit,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool, There's more to Trey than I thought about,
Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of music you guys do down there? You doing the down south sound, or you got your own unique, or?
Yeah, I mean, lately what I've been making, I call it 420 funk, because it's basically like we just did this album called 757, but it's more like 757 jet. It's because we're talking about being above the clouds, being high, but
right.
but it's more of a message of being high above the noise. We kind of talk about legalization and decriminalization at least.
Right.
So, and just stopping the whole war on drugs. It's deeper than what I'm saying. Like once you get into it, and it's not mumble rap, so you can actually understand what they're saying.
I can't stand that shit, dude.
So, and you know, for me as a producer, I can't lie, I love it. I may not understand what the fuck they're saying, but it's more the rhythm and how they doing it and the auto tune. It's just part of the music to me now because I don't know what the fuck they're saying some of the time.
Yeah,
But
I can't do the mumble.
No, that's the thing though. They're not saying shit. So
yeah,
it's not like you
man.
know what they're saying, and what they're saying is nothing. So you're
You
cool,
know, my problem is like I grew up on Bay Area, underground, Mac Dre, Too Short, E40, and there was always and even with today, the message has kind of gotten. 40 will have a couple of songs where he's got some messages on there, but back in the day, like when I was 13, 14, 15, that's where we got the game. Like that's where we started. Like we were hustling, we were blowing tree, we were running the streets and doing shit. But that's where even the JT, the bigger figures, back, he's whacked out now. But even back in the day, the JTs, the Messy Marvs, like they called a game for sale. Like they were telling you the do's and the don'ts. Don't be pumping your gas at 2 a.m. That ain't smart. You know what I'm saying? Like they were giving you the game. And so for me, the connection was always the game because it was the money, it was the music, it was the women, it was the tree, you know what I mean? And there was like, that's always been my connection to music. And I think I've kind of put myself in a box because of it, because I feel like any music that ain't giving me that, I don't really care what you're trying to express or what you got going on. You know what I mean? Because it's almost like that Covino Rich connection, right? They were into the same shit I was into, hustling, trying to come up, trying to get girls. So that was my connection. Like when I can't hear what they're saying, I'm like, because I don't really dance that well, right? Like I go into the club and, if I'm in the club for the women that are dancing in the club, that's cool. Right. But I'm not out there rocking, you know what I mean? I'm like the D-boys in the corner getting keyed and shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so my connection to the music's always been the message.
Right. And we're doing that, we're doing that. But we have my style is really, I'll use some of the trap elements, some of the stuff you hear, updated sounds you may hear, but it's still, it's like funk, man. Like that West Coast, like we have a song called from our first EP. It was called God damn it, what was the name of the damn song? I just drew a fucking blank. That's that 757. But I'm actually gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send that song to you. It was the first 420 friendly song we did because we were like, damn, we live in, like, I'm in Georgia and one of them's in Texas, and we were like, man, it's, I think they decriminalized it in Atlanta, the city of Atlanta. But, to talk about it, you might be putting yourself out there, right? But at the same time, we were like, but look, man, we're trying to say, stop the stigma. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, it's more good than it is bad. If you really believe that, then you're gonna be an advocate. Then do it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So we put the pedal to the metal, and we just did it. And it felt good. And
I start digging that New Orleans funk because Master P came out here and got the game. That's where he got the game. But once he went back, he started putting that New Orleans sound on some of his CDs that weren't finished yet. So like the Ice Cream Man got a lot of stuff he made in New Orleans, but then he got a lot of, like that ghetto funk he made while he was still in Richmond. And so that's when I started rocking. Even Lil Wayne, like I don't really like the dude, but I mean, as far as his lyrics, you can't, he got some heat. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm not
into kissing other men like he is with Baby, but whatever. I mean, he does have some hot lyrics.
No, it's funny because people would bring up shit like that because I was like, a lot of my social media before I just started going off of just Daniel J. Fitz on my social media. My shit was DZF baby because fucking Weezy was like Weezy F baby and the F is for go fuck yourself or whatever, right? And so my shit, I even have homies hit me up that just be like fucking with me like, oh, what up, like DZF baby, or they have me in their phone. And it's funny though because like there is some like shit like even like if you go to like Shooter with Robin Thicke, like fucking, or like Misunderstood and shit. Like I love me some Lil Wayne shit. Yeah. People trying to bring up Mrs. Officer and shit, talking about we. I'm like, no, that's not the shit I'm talking about. I still fuck with it, but that's not like exactly.
But I mean, the guy. I mean, he's a man as a hip hop. Just put him in the hip hop artist. Like I don't look for him. I don't look to him because I know everybody was talking about. They were talking about him going to see Trump and all that. I don't care about. Like, I'm not looking to him for my political views.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm. So just stay like in the booth, you rapping, you one of the best.
Right.
You know, I think it was Dave Chappelle. I think it was Dave Chappelle who said it best, where he was like, "We had the World Trade Centers were just hit. You know, the biggest tragedy in U.S. history. Let's go to Ja Rule. You know,
yeah.
you know.
Hey, I seen
For
Ja
real.
Rule just got his business degree from Harvard. He's enrolled or something.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Day
for real.
trader. Yeah, because I mean, after that Fire Festival, I thought he was Thruvo, but no, he's what they say, he's either enrolled or he got a certificate. It got his government name and it says Harvard Business School on it, and yeah, he's doing it. And then he gave some trading advice on the stock market. I'm not taking Ja Rule's advice, but hey, the fact that he's got that platform, right? At least he's doing something. If someone gave him a platform, he's doing something.
He's doing something. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And by the way, that song I was talking about is called New Funk, because I was like, what?
We knew it was going to come to you. That's why we just kept talking.
Because we were talking about the new, like, it was the new way to partake, vaping. So we were like, New Funk, you know? Yeah, man. So,
hey, you guys got plug and play out there?
Plug and play. What's that?
The plug and play. If you can get the plug and play, it's a vaporizer. That's the one. That's sticky. Because a lot of them vaporizers work, but you know they don't really take you to the land all the way. They kind of get you there, but no, the plug and play, yeah, that'll put you on your boo boo. Plug and play
on your boo boo.
On your boo boo.
Yeah.
This is this called the Aria from X-Vape. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. No, but what kind of pods are you guys using though? Like what the plug the actual?
Now you're talking about like this.
No, it's a pod.
Okay. No,
Damn,
I'll be right back.
right there, Trey. Fuck.
I'll be right back.
Oh wait, you're talking about you're talking about this one? Oh no, you're talking about this one.
Double fisting on the vapes. Nah, yeah. I mean, these aren't pods. These take flower.
Yeah.
So this is dry herb. Both of them are dry herb, and they'll take. Right now, man, have you heard of the Delta 8?
Yes.
Delta 8? Like this now, I can go to the smoke shop down the street. It's legal. I can go get Delta 8.
Was that is it CBD?
This is
or Delta 8. Yeah.
This Delta 8 Bubba Kush.
Yeah.
Delta 8, yeah. Actually this company Cultivate sent these to me. I think I'm kind of like a little bit of an ambassador now.
Hell yeah.
They sent me a whole box. Like I'm on the Weed Tube, I have a channel. And like I did a review of this vape, and then like I also did like a box opening when they sent me the stuff because I didn't know what they were sending me.
Right.
So they sent me like 2 of these full of the flower, and then they sent me gummies. They sent me some Delta 8 Moon Rock.
How long, Trey?
Go.
How long has that shit been legal where you at?
I just found out about it probably like a month ago. I happened to go in. No, like actually like 2 months ago.
You know what they've been doing out here?
Huh?
You know what they've been doing out here? They've been rocking these illegal things where like, because no one's really tripping in Cali at all no more, right?
Right.
So they do these things where they're called a sesh. And what it basically is on the Friday and Saturday night sessions, they get like 100 to 200 different vendors. And it's like a ghetto ass weed swap meet, and they go into and they hit and run, right? Because like sometimes Popo will show up and just make everyone leave. No one really gets arrested or nothing, but they kind of disperse them. So they won't even drop the address till an hour before, and they'll have like 80 different tables, swap meet style, where they got cookies, gummies, pens, tree, fucking. They be selling pills and mushrooms. These motherfuckers be acting up. They start pulling out fucking pounds of shrooms. You're like, hey man, put that shit away. That's what's gonna get the law called and shit. You know what I mean? Put that shit away, dog. That's invite only. Hide that shit in the duffel bag.
I love.
You know what's funny, El Cucuy, you say that because they had they just passed the shit to legalize here in Arizona in November. And it was actually for you to actually carry it like in fucking Walmart and shit. I know Walmart ain't gonna carry it, but I'm saying like at a normal store, they fucking it was last Wednesday that they just fucking passed it, so you can go and fucking just say, hey, let me have some of that shit, you know? And they actually had one of those swap meet type of things set up too. Mm-hmm. And it was the craziest shit because when I was a kid, fucking weed was like fucking hardcore. It was like fucking like people were fucking slamming fucking heroin and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like it was so crazy. And now being that they had like, oh yeah, this Wednesday it passed and they have a fucking little swap meet. I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy, you know?
They got doctors out here. Like I've been medical since '98, right? I'm gonna date myself a little bit, but I had my medical card since '98, and out here, if you're medical still, you can have up to 11 Ps and 99 plants.
Damn.
Doctor writing on your
99.
prescription.
Wow.
You get a little card and everything, a little ID card, and that way, and it's verified. It takes they just call it in. They got a little verification system, and yeah, it's wild out here. They're not even really tripping. And at this point, it's not even worth the ticket or them doing the paperwork because they know they're going to throw it out. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
Hey,
Crazy how far we came.
I see the little homie creeping up on you behind you, El Cucuy.
Oh, we got donuts. And so, yeah, we went today. I said, hey, fuck it, just pick it out, put some fucking cereal donuts and some fancy shit, some fat boy shit in there. And so he's grabbing some donuts. Right? What they call I got a homie used to call that the FBD, the Fat Boy Deluxe, right? All the shit you shouldn't be eating.
Oh, man. Fuck, man. Well, I think I'm going to fucking wrap this shit up. Maybe around your daughter's birthday in March or something. We'll do another one of these, all right?
That'll be dope, man. That'll be dope.
And I'll be blowing with you. I'll have mine with me, too. I got the little homie over here right now, so I can't really rock it. But
I feel you. It's all to the good, man. Thanks. And, hey, go on any of your streaming platforms and just look up Tre Tracks, TREXXX, and it'll come up on your Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you use, YouTube, everything is there. You know what I'm saying?
And I got one for you too. Check out you can see a little bit in this. I don't do it no more. We did this back in the day. We made this thing in 0203. And once I realized it went to streaming and we weren't getting our $7 a disc no more, and you had to make merch and go to shows 200 times a year, I kind of got out of it a little bit. But we did put out one dope ass CD, and it was the artist was Young Savage. I was the executive producer, so I put everything together. But he did the music. But it was Young Savage, and then the album was called Underground Dweller.
Underground Dweller. All right.
Yeah, and then the dude that used to do Master P, when Master P was out here, we had a dude out there back in the day, he was out in the Bay, and his name was John L. Lake, and the company was called Funky Fat Graphics. So you ever hear that in the old school 40 verses where Bus Benches was done by Funky Fat Graphics? Well, he did our album cover, so I paid him a couple of racks. He gave us the independent price, and he used to do all the Master P shit back in the day. He did Mariah Carey Glitter. So yeah, he was out there in LA. But yeah, check it out. I mean, it was some shit from back in the day. Like
yeah, man.
If you're vibing too. We got Messy Marv. I don't know if you fuck with Messy Marv or not, but we got Messy Marv on 5 tracks, Mac Dre on 2, and then Yuck Mouth from I Got 5 on it. He's on 2.
Yeah,
he's on 2 of them.
I got 5 on it.
Hell yeah, it's a classic.
Me and Yuck. I'll tell you real quick a little backstory. Shit, between when Yuck came to do that, we killed the biggest, the fifth of hen, and a zone. And the time he was there about 3-4 hours, and it was a zone got blown, and that whole fifth of hen, we were fucked up. So a little backstory.
God damn.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but do you guys remember there was a track by Yuck Mouth called Stallions?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
That was on the
dirty
he made
as fuck.
Well, he made a porno. He made a porno movie, and that was the soundtrack to it.
Wow.
No, okay. Well, let me tell you. One time I was playing this track, and my homie was like, "This shit is dirty as fuck." He was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "It's Yuck Mouth." And he was like, "Well, I guess, huh? That motherfucker's name is Yuck Mouth. This shit better be dirty, you know?"
Yeah, no, he did that. Remember, it was called Eye Candy. He did a little underground because I remember when we were doing our album, he was going around with his camcorder, and that's when he made the United Ghettos of America. And he was doing little footage from all his concerts, and he made that. And he sold like 125,000 off footage he just put together, had someone cut and edit it. And he came up because he was getting like $15.99 a DVD. So then he put out that porno movie. It was Yuck Mouth's Eye Candy, and he dropped a soundtrack with it, and that's what that song was on.
Damn, that shit.
Wow.
Anyways,
I wonder if I gotta talk shit about Rich before we end this. I wonder if Rich ever heard Stallions and fucking Yuck Mouth, or do you think he was more Neil Diamond for Rich?
Hell, definitely more Neil Diamond.
No, he's the pop kid, right? He's Mr. Pop 2K. He probably ain't heard an underground song in his life. If it ain't played on the radio, it ain't in his playlist.
Hey, you know what though? We can't hate. I love Pop 2K and I love fucking pop music, but I still fuck with some shit like some Yuck Mouth. I mean, I'm a very eclectic person.
Hey, I'm a music man. I listen to everything. The first music I ever heard was reggae, Bob Marley. My dad was a Bob Marley and reggae. I don't know. Maybe it was because of military, him traveling. I don't know why, but reggae was my first love. and then from there, Louisiana music that we have.
The jazz. What about the
jazz.
jazz music? When you're at the damn bar getting down, they got the jazz. Damn, every bar got a jazz player in it.
Yeah, I mean, I basically my Sabor Brass Band. We're also on Instagram, Sabor Brass Band. We have all we do is New Orleans type, brass band, Mardi Gras type music, and right now we popping because it's almost Mardi Gras. So we're doing virtual stuff. Like I got stuff up on YouTube, all kind of stuff. It's just out there, man. But music is my love. I love all of it, man. I listen to everything. You know what I'm saying? Tejano music, salsa, merengue.
Oh yeah.
If it sounds good, I'm on it.
Hell yeah.
And E40 went to school in Louisiana. That's why I was like, why did we love E40? How did they skip all the way over here to Louisiana? We were with them as they were coming up because they went to college in Louisiana.
Yeah, he went to Brown. He went to Grambling.
He went to Grambling. Yep.
He went to Grambling. Him and B.
You know what?
That's what they did.
Yep.
I don't know if either of you guys fuck with Gary V, but that fool, he just had E40 and Too Short on like 2 episodes ago.
He did.
And that shit, that shit was fucking dope. I'm like halfway through listening to it because I was listening to it right before I got on with you guys.
Damn.
But it was fucking good. It was really good.
Although I do got to say this. Covino Rich changed channels many a times throughout the years. And Gary V, at one point, it was Wine with Gary V. Remember that? And it was either before or after one of those Stars 2. I don't remember which one it was. And I love Gary V. Great businessman. I absolutely respect the hustle. Love to meet that dude and chop it up with him. Did not dig his show when it was following Covino Rich. I wasn't digging. I don't know if you guys remember that Wine with Gary V. It was like 2008 or 9.
I remember her hearing that name. I remember hearing that.
But I've never checked it out.
No, it only lasted like a year. But that was before he became Gary V, because right then he was transitioning. He had his wine library on, and the online wine sales where they gave him a radio show on Sirius, and he was either before or after Covino Rich. And I know for sure he was on the same channel, but I wasn't digging that. But everything else Gary V does, he's dope.
I got one quick story because then I got to wrap this shit up. My girl called me like 3 times already. I'm like, fuck, man. Well, what do you call it? One time, me and Johnny were working together, and fucking, we're working together, and I was listening to Gary V, and I had it like loud on my phone, and fucking Gary V was like he talks about garage sales and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So he was saying like he gets the same joy of like buying something for $1 and selling it for $4 as he does for like signing like $1 million contract. So fucking I'm working, right? And he's saying his little story. Johnny's next to me. He's like, "Hey, who's that?" I was like, "Gary V." He's like, "I don't know who the fuck that is." He's like, "But he is full of shit."
No, he's right though. He's right. You know what? It's the hustle. It's just like that damn air fryer I sent you that picture on.
Yeah.
I got the air fryer for free, man. I bought some cameras from Best Buy and I realized they went down $50, made them price match it. And then I already had a $20 certificate from buying something else in their credit card and just paying it cash. The motherfucker was free, man. That shit was free. I get off the game. I can overpay for shit.
Well, I appreciate it, Trey. I'm going to link all your social media. El Cucuy, it was a pleasure as always. And
you guys
I hope everybody finds us across all social media. It's AfterShowBL. Find us everywhere. Tell your friends about it. Covino and Rich are always preaching their social media and saying, just tell your friends about it. And it's so true. You guys tell one person you dig the show. If you listen, then that'll fucking grow us. So we appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah. All right, Baseline Tre. Right. Nice meeting you, man. And it was great talking with you.
Nice meeting you, Trey.
Hey, this was dope, man. This was dope. Looking forward to the next time.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, man. Peace. See you guys. Peace.